ladies and gentlemen, to part 3 of the U.S. National Aerobatic Championships Intermediate Power and Intermediate Glider, Primary Glider program.
Okay.
We had quite a long rain delay there, about an hour and a half. We had lightning in the area. We got rained on pretty good, but we're back with you for our last 3 competitors, and we're excited to see them fired up, getting airborne, and climbing up into the box and the hold. I'm Rob Dumovic with Spread Aviation. With me, as always,
Jeff Granger from Pilot Makers Advanced Flight Academy in Provo, Utah.
U.S. National Aerobatic Championships brought to you by Extra, Aura Aero, Game Aerospace, MX Aircraft Company, Northwest Insurance Group, Incorporated, and the American Champion Aircraft Corporation. I'm blowing Forrest.
No, that was great.
That was a good plug. Always got to plug.
Already, so.
Always got to plug our sponsors.
Oh, absolutely.
So props are turning on the ramp and aircraft are in the air. No doubt they will immediately launch the first 2 competitors, one into the box and the other into the hold.
Yes, and there's still civilian traffic going on too, so
there is
a couple of the departures and things going on. It seems like everybody's firing back up now that the weather has moved on. All in all, the weather this week
has been tremendous.
Tremendous, absolutely.
I've never been so cold as I've been at the Nationals, and I've never been so hot as I've been at the Nationals in previous years. And this year the weather's been exceptionally mild. Winds were very light until today when they picked up, but they were pretty much down the box. Not too much cross box wind for the competitors to deal with. And now that the rain has moved off, it's nice and cool. Winds are light. I can hear some aircraft in the air. So the first competitor is going to be Wayne Forbes from Colorado. Wayne flies a Panzel S330, and he's doing his power intermediate freestyle routine, which I'm looking at right now. These programs are designed by the competitor within certain limits that are listed in the rule book, certain limits and certain required figures. They are made to illustrate versatility, creativity, and present their aircraft in the best possible light. Some aircraft are monoplanes, some are biplanes, some have a lot of power, some don't have a lot of power. So you get to pick figures that you think you can do well and present them in a nice, pleasing flow for the judges.
Okay, so we think we've got a competitor on base here, and that should be Wayne.
That should be Wayne. And during the downtime, as always, we can answer questions in the chat. Send us your questions on aerobatics or aviation in general. We'll do our best to try to answer them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we got a tally-ho on Wayne yet?
I had him, I lost him. Looks like
I hear him.
Has him.
Yeah.
Got him.
Okay, he's on base leg. He's allowed to do a 2-point roll on base leg as a safety check. Check to make sure his inverted fuel and oil system's working well. Make sure that he doesn't have any loose objects in the cockpit. Make sure his belts are tight. And he's diving into the box, and there's the wing wag for Wayne Forbes. His first figure is a vertical line up. Center box. This sets him up for the spin, gains altitude, reduces airspeed. He caps off. He has to draw a line between figures to distinguish these are 2 separate figures, and then a 1.5 turn spin.
I'd say he gained about 1,800 feet on that, and the spin right here is going to lose him about 1,500 to 1,600, so a 200 net positive.
Easily. Now he's on a reciprocal heading. He does a vertical line up, basically a half of a square loop. He's going to later do a half of a square loop down, although this wouldn't be judged as a square loop because it has to have, that would have to have the longitudinal length equal to the vertical length, right?
Yes.
So down on the half square loop down, that was figure 4. Figure 5 in the left side of the box is a wedge, but has a half roll on the way up instead of on the diagonal line. So then he tips down to the diagonal line at 45 degrees, back into the wind, which, by the way, I think the wind's less than it was earlier.
It is significantly less, which I don't know if that's going to benefit or hurt these competitors now.
Okay, now a pull, push, pull Humpty with a 3/4 roll on the down line. This will change him to the y-axis. He's going off to the east on his wind corrector, y-axis wind corrector. This is followed by another Humpty. This is an all-pull Humpty, and he'll do a quarter roll on the down line to get back on the x-axis going downwind. Nice, smooth half loop across the top and a quarter roll, and then out to judge's left. Figure 8 is a hammerhead, no rolls, just straight stock hammerhead. Goes to 0 airspeed, puts in full left rudder, pivots. There's engine torque on this pivot, which has to be compensated for. Set the down line and out upwind. Figure 9 on the upwind side of the box is a hammerhead, but this one has a 45-degree entry. Hold the 45 line and then the vertical line. Pivot remains the same. I don't see him drifting nearly as much on the end of the vertical lines as I did before, do you?
No, and as I'm sitting here, I think I'm feeling wind much more out of the east instead of the south.
Okay. This is a half of a loop up, and it leaves him inverted, so he does a 2 out of 4, figure 11, a 2 out of 4 roll brings him upright again, and then figure 12 is a split ass, the reciprocal of an Immelman, half roll, half loop down. Figure 13 is another wedge. This is classic wedge, vertical line up, and then on the 45 down line he'll do a half roll. This is kind of a variation on the Cuban 8, straight lines instead of looping lines. Figure 14 is a 180 turn. Generally the first aerobatic maneuver that you teach, and some students are surprised. A turn can be aerobatic, yes, if it exceeds 60-degree bank. And the final is a snap roll. Center box, positive snap. And wing wag will signal that he's done, and that's Wayne's routine. Very nice.
It must be difficult for the competitors to sit after 19 other power competitors have gone and 7 gliders. Then suddenly you're all saddled up, engines fired up, oil's warm, and they said, hey, go back, hop on out, and we're going to go sit for an hour and a half. And then to try and get back into that headspace of heart's on fire, let's go, let's fly this hard, and now you gotta wait.
That's part of being a competitor, is dealing with the stress of waiting and having to be prepared after a long wait or even at a moment's notice.
Yeah, well, I mean, props to them for going up and going flying and waiting. Really solid flight there. Really happy for you.
Next is going to be Jake Spidel in the anniversary edition Pitts S2B. I know this airplane.
Anniversary edition?
Yeah, have you seen the paint scheme? It was like a 50th anniversary special. Go look at the paint scheme.
Well, I'm hopefully going to get a really good look at it here as Jake dives into the box.
Yeah, I know it because it used to belong to a doctor in Kokomo, Indiana, that was part of our chapter. Dr. Mike Wild. I hear Jake coming in. What's first?
Well, I hear him. Yeah, there, I got him on base. He's doing his inverted 2-point safety check. Looks like he may be turning final now. First figure is going to be a 4-point roll and a half loop up. He's broken off the final. Might spin it back around, might just reposition. Now he just repositioned. That's fine, he's diving in now. And we got those wing wags. Rocking left. Practice your rocks to the right, people. The judges are on your right today. Salute those judges. Looking for a 4-point roll. Count the points with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull. And we're going for that half loop up. We're going to finish inverted. Next figure is a half loop down. Easy to fly, easy to score. Low risk, low reward. Finishing the figure, pull vertical up, push. Exit right upright. Trading airspeed for altitude. Getting set up for a 1.5 turn spin. Driving to the edge of the box, definitely not as much wind as earlier. Having a much easier time getting to that downwind edge. And nice spin. Next for Peeler, vertical up 3/4. Exit left, upright. Now we're going to be looking for a pull, push, pull, Humpty. Quarter roll on down, pull. Push over the top, get those negative G's going. A hard push now. Quarter roll. Getting a good look at the box. Real easy to set up that quarter roll. Now pull, hammer, quarter roll up. Wires singing.
Singing on the wires.
And hammerhead, waiting for that kick pivot. Yeah, I think there's a lot stronger on-judge wind now. We're seeing a lot of movement towards the judge's line.
I think you're right.
Exiting the hammerhead. Fly towards about 7 bucks, maybe a little bit past. Yeah. All the way downwind. Vertical up. 45 down. Half rolled up, right. Exit left, half square up, just a roll, vertical up. Set the vertical line, pull, level, exit, right, inverted. Following it up with a guess, Jeff. Guess what's next? The half square loop down.
The dreaded combination. There's nothing wrong with this.
There's nothing wrong with this?
Except that it just doesn't, to me, illustrate the versatility that I'd like to see.
And following it up with a pull Humpty. Yeah, with as many verticals as we're seeing here, there's definitely not as much wind on this flight as there was previously. They're not moving across the box as hard as they were before. And seeing the pull Humpty going for a hammerhead.
People do like to put verticals in their freestyles, especially the monoplanes, don't they?
But this is a biplane. Yeah, the monoplanes really do. They do a really nice job with those. Now we'll pull to a 45 down. We hear some work on the power there. Not needing all of it, so back if you feel like you have to. Figure 13 is a half cube with a 204 on the down line. Tanner, this is being flown at Salina Regional Airport in Salina, Kansas. U.S. National Aerobatic Championships. Exiting the half cuban for a roll of slowness. A slow roll and a 90-degree competition turn. He took it away from us. Stop, turn, roll wings level, and wag out. Well flown.
When in doubt, wag out.
Yeah.
That was Jake Spidel in the Pitts S2B. And one more, and then we're done.
Our last competitor,
Dr.
Joe McMurray.
From oral surgeon from San Jose. All the way.
The third GB1 game bird here at the Nationals.
That's right. We got Casey and Sean D. All right.
This is Joe's first Nationals.
And he has moved up recently to the game bird from the American Champion Super Decathlon.
Yes.
Great training mount. Great progression. Oftentimes people start in a decathlon or a Pitts biplane, fly a couple years, move up a category before they move to the muscly, to the carbon fiber wonder plane. But then there are people who start in the carbon fiber wonder plane.
Yes, and I have over the years trained some people who had the means to purchase the carbon fiber monoplanes and started out learning the basics in a very, very, very capable airplane. And it can be overwhelming. It doesn't do anything slow. You can fly it slower, but whereas the decathlon, you get a good amount of experience using full-scale deflections and having a machine that gives you time to witness the events you need to see, especially in the slow roll where you need to make the elevator and rudder inputs happen and learn those timings in a slower controlled environment. I can do that in the high-performance airplanes and the high-performance monoplanes. I can slow them down and show you the same things, but it's It's not where the machine is happy.
Yeah. When your kid first starts to drive, get him an older, slower car, right? Not the Lamborghini.
It'll
right?
probably be a stick shift truck.
And it'll be a stick. Exactly. Teach them the fundamentals with a stick shift and a truck. Something simple, not whistles and bells. And but it's at the pilot's discretion. There's no rules in the IAC that say that you have to start out with low-powered airplanes and move up.
Then there's no rule that says you have to start out in primary before you do anything else.
That's right.
You could show up day one flying unlimited.
If you so desire. Okay, I see the plane on base. I think I saw him do his belt check. So Dr. Joe starts his freestyle with the vertical line up and the 1.5 spin. Very popular combination. There's the cowbell at the chief judge's table. And diving in. And there's the wing wag. All right, vertical line up, center box. It's got a beautiful planiform, doesn't it? Easy to distinguish from the extra. Very swoopy lines.
I'm biased.
Oh, I think extras look good. Joe fell in love with that airplane though. The first time he saw it, he never looked at an extra again. 1.5 turn spin. Finish on the reciprocal heading, vertical line down and out on the x-axis downwind. At the downwind end of the box is a wedge with 2 of 4 on the diagonal. Vertical line up, show the judges a nice line, pull down to the 45, and center that 2 of 4 roll on the midpoint of the line.
You can really hear how quiet that 4-bladed propeller is.
Yes. On the upwind side of the box, half loop up. Downwind side of the box, half loop down. And in center box, a hammerhead with a quarter roll on the down line. This is the cross box connector. What if you have a cross box connector but you don't need it? You still got to do it, right?
Still got to do it. You put it in your free. You could have multiple frees.
So on a windless day, you could do the one that doesn't have a connector.
Yeah, but you kind of still have to guess at it because these get submitted at the beginning of the contest. And you generally don't fly your free on day one.
Pull Humpty, quarter roll on the down line. Easier to do a quarter roll on the down line than the up line. Less chance of making an error. Figure 8, half square loop up. Cap off inverted. And then a down 5/8 loop. It's going to be a half roll here and then a 5/8 loop around. And this will finish up with no roll at the top, so we'll finish up inverted.
So this is one where I'm looking to make sure I hit my gate altitude because this is a pull down, half square loop down, so I'm going to be driving at the ground. I want to make sure I have enough altitude to safely perform this maneuver.
45 entry into a hammer. Nice long lines. No rolls up, no rolls down. Time to smoke a cigar. There's the pivot. Nothing on the down line. He is throttling back a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, I heard a power change.
Figure 12 is the Immelman, the classic evasive maneuver. Half loop up with a roll off the top. And figure 13 is a split S, but it's a variation because it's a half snap instead of a half roll. One figure left, that's a reverse half Cuban. Begins with a 45 up line and a half roll. 5/8 loop down, and at the bottom there's going to be a 2 out of 4 roll that puts him back to inverted, and his sequence ends inverted. He'll do the wing wag inverted, and roll upright.
End of figure.
And he's done.
End of
And
sequence.
that's end of figure.
End of category.
End of sequence, end of category, end of day.
Are they going to try and get any sportsmen done?
Oh,
Or did they run out of time?
I don't think so. It's not fun.
Yeah, we don't have time to get that category
Don't
in.
have that. We've got time for a couple of questions.
If anybody has any.
Anybody has any questions? Otherwise, we're going to pack it up. They're already breaking down the judges' line, putting their paperwork away, folding up their chairs, and the vans are already here. So last chance for aeronautical and aerobatic questions.
And if we close the stream before, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe to Spread Aviation on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Send your questions there. And thank you to Extra, Aura Aero, Game Aerospace, MX Aircraft Company, and Northwest Insurance Group, and American Champion Aircraft Corporation for your sponsorship of the U.S. National Aerobatic Championships this year, 2025.
In Salina, Kansas.
Oh, in Salina, Kansas. Yeah.
Somebody else.
Oh, I answered him already.
No.
Yeah, good old Tanner. All right, so now the category is over. Also, intermediate competitors, you should have your unknowns available for pickup out at the scorers. They should be in the scorers office. All right, that's going to do it for us. I'm Rob.
I'm Jeff.
Take care and fly on.